And there were moments, there was a moment when Yo-Yo Ma played a little cello. I don't know if you saw that. And I don't know if you're kind of aware of Yo-Yo Ma. I mean, I, I only know what I see, but I looked at that guy and he exudes a peacefulness. Um, I don't know if it's just when he plays, but there's something about that guy. And I said to myself, I bet he does yoga. I just have that feeling that he's got this kind of inner peace that, I mean, not everybody who does yoga has that inner peace, but it's something that yoga does. Um, it does inspire us to be, because it's always about a new beginning. It's not what you did in your last yoga practice. It's not even about what is the next pose you're going to do. It's completely about where you are right now. And you approach it without judgment. And I remember early on when I was doing yoga, and I would, I don't know, fall out of a balance, or not be able to do something that perhaps I'd done before, or even worse, I didn't do it the way the person next to me was doing it, like they were nailing a pose that I couldn't nail. And I'd be like saying to like the internal that was going on in my head was, dag damn it, or darn it, or, oh, and as I've gotten older, sometimes I even just take off my glasses so I can't see. And you almost laugh when you can't, when you fall out. It's like, just pick it up and try it again, because that's one of the beauties of a yoga practice. So as you start this yoga practice today, it's not what you did before. It's not what you might do in the future. It's right now. And just love it, and love your body for whatever it can do, because it's great. And that we're able to do this together is awesome. So I know, Seal, you've got a little bit of a wonky shoulder, right? Anybody else have any other body parts that are feeling yicky? Your wrist, okay. We're gonna, we're gonna do some shoulder openings. Seal, you do what feels good. And if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. We're gonna do just a couple downward dogs. Sue, do what you can do, and don't press your shoulder too much. And we're not going to, so that's true throughout this practice. If something doesn't feel good, just back out of it. And this is going to be a gentle practice, but we want you also at the end to feel good. So let's meet on our mats in a comfortable seated position. So you could be in hero pose, which is on your knees. You could put a block underneath your sacrum. You could sit up on your knees with your toes pointed back. My toes are always kind of pointed towards each other because I'm a bit pigeon-toed. You can come to a comfortable cross-legged pose. If locust is in your practice, or half locust, you can do that now. So just come into a comfortable seat. Close your eyes, place your hands on your knees, sit up tall, and draw your chin back if it's jutting forward. Draw your shoulders up and down your back. So bring them up to your ears, and then rest them down. Breathe normally. Just take your breaths as you normally do, and notice your body. Notice how it feels. No judgment. Just notice. And maybe start your ujjayi breathing, which is constricting the back of your throat, breathing in and out through your nose. Take any adjustments you need to get comfortable. Maybe it's shifting your hips around a little bit, flexing and unflexing your toes. Breathe in and out. We're going to count our breaths to bring even a deeper awareness to breathing. So count in quietly to yourself, maybe up 5 counts, sip in a bit more, hold at the top, and then exhale 5 counts, push it out, hold, and then come back up. Let's do that 4 times at your own pace. Ujjayi breathing in and out through your nose. Wherever you are, finish with a deep exhale and bring your hands to your heart in prayer position. Breathe in and out. Set an intention for your practice. Maybe it's goodwill, maybe it's hopefulness, peace, joy, ease, strength. Or maybe you settle on a mantra that will help you, in addition to your breath and your drishti, a mantra that will be something that you'll think about if your mind wanders during practice, that you can come back to that mantra and come back into mindfulness. We'll start practice with the sound together of one Om. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Blink open your eyes, look up, reach your arms up, come up out of your hips, reach up, and bring your left hand down along your left hip or maybe your left ankle if you're in hero's pose. Look up at your right hand. Hinge over to the left, drawing your left ear to your left shoulder. Come back up. Place your right hand down along your right side, maybe flat on your mat or maybe cupcake hands. Reach your left arm up. Really come out of your hips and hinge over just at your waist. Drawing your right ear towards your right shoulder and look back up. Same thing on the other side. Right arm up, look up, come right out of your hips and hinge over. Breathing and exhaling. Look up, right hand down, left arm up, really draw it up and hinge over. Breathing in and out. Come back up, bring your arms down. Let's start waking up our neck. Draw your chin to your chest. Draw your chin up to the ceiling, look up. Chin to chest, look up. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, look up. Now, exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Don't rise your shoulder, don't bring your shoulder up. Your shoulder's really down your back and up. Right ear, right shoulder. Look up, left ear, left shoulder. Look up, right ear, right shoulder. Now draw your shoulders up to your ears and bring them all the way down your back. Really settling your shoulder blades a little closer together. And now we're going to go around the world with our heads. Okay, so you're going to draw it to your chest, over to your left shoulder, back to your right shoulder, to the chest. Breathing in as you go back and exhaling as you come around and draw your chin to your chest. Really just moving your head and swiveling your neck around in very deliberate, slow motion. And now reverse, go in the opposite direction, really accentuating this movement. Drawing your shoulders down your back. Breathing in and out. Go around one more time. Good. And look up. Good job. Bring your arms out in front of you with your stop sign hands. We're going to open and close our fingers 30 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Good job. And swivel your wrists around. Bring your fingers together and reverse. Place your hands on the floor. Now place the back of your hands on the floor with your fingers facing each other. Bring it around so that you can face your knees with your fingers. Now place your palms on the floor, wrists facing each other, fingers facing out. And see if you can bring your fingers facing each other, wrists facing forward. This is pretty intense wrist stretch. Breathe in and out. Use your breath. In and out. Good. Let's come to a comfortable kneeling position for cat-cow. Get everything lined up. Look at your alignment. Your forefingers are facing 12 o'clock. Your toes are straight behind you. Your knees are right below your hips. and your shins are directly behind your knees. So get everything lined up, and we're going to do a really accentuating, popping our booty, looking up, dropping our belly, and arching into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Really swiveling your hips. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Make sure your left palm is right underneath your shoulder, and bring your right arm up to the ceiling, sparking your fingers up. We're going to thread the needle. So we're going to bring our right arm through our left, bending our left elbow, coming down with our right ear on the mat, and try to get your shoulder onto the mat. Breathe here, in and out. Come back up and bring that right hand up to the ceiling again, trying to really give a stretch. Good. Bring that arm down. Raise your left arm up. Look up if you can at that thumb. And now thread the needle on this side, drawing that left hand through your right arm, bending your right elbow, trying to get your left ear on the mat. Breathe in and out. In and out. Come back up. A couple more rounds of cat-cow. Breathe in, look up. Exhale into cat. Breathe in, look up. Exhale, cat. Bring your right hand out in front, cupcake hands. So it's like you're protecting a cupcake. You're on your fingertips. Come back on your left toe. Now bring your right arm up and stamp the wall behind you with your left leg. Come down. Come back up. On an inhale, exhale down. Come up and down. And switch hands and legs. So now left hand out in front, cupcake, right toes on the back of your mat. Bring everything up and down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Bring your hands back together, knees together, and very slowly look at your positions of your hands. Either come onto your forearms and come up into dolphin, or come up into full downward facing dog. Whatever works for you, come up slowly, using your abdominals to bring your hips up. Maybe you need to reposition your feet a little bit, maybe pulling them back a little bit, and simply pedal out your feet. This is probably your first down dog of the day. We want to really try to take some of the pressure off of our palms and move it into your fingers. And in particular, your forefinger and thumb, there's a lot of power there. So we want to try to take some pressure off our palms. Pedal, point your toes to the left side of your mat and bend your knees. This is a big left side body stretch. Come back up on your toes and point them down to the right side of your mat and bend your knees for a big side body stretch. Come back up on your toes and tippy toe to the top of your mat. Really giving your toes a big stretch as you tippy toe, maybe come up on your fingertips, stay on your tippy toes. Be here and see if you can come up on your tippy toes. It's a little bit hard. And lower down. Look up, mountain pose. Dive down, hands to mat. Come up to halfway lift. Stay here for a moment. Draw the crown of your head forward. Engage your abdominals. Dive down. Inhale, look up, mountain pose. Dive down, forward fold. Breathe in. Bring all your toes, all 10 toes off the mat. Try to separate your toes. Try to get them as far apart. You ever get a pedicure, those foam things that they put between your toes? Pretend you've got those between your toes and really try to stretch your toes out. Now lower your toes down one at a time. Oh, there we go. Halfway lift, straight back. Dive down and mountain pose. Look up. Okay, I'm finally ready to take this fleece off for the first time today. Maybe you are too. You've warmed up. Dive down and step back to high plank. If this is hard on your wrists, go down. Everybody go down on their forearms. Let's be here for a second. Let's hold a plank with forearms on the mat. You don't want your butt up and you don't want it sagging down. You want to try to hold this plank like you're a plank, so everything's sort of even. Come down onto the mat. Good job. And come up onto your knees. And because I love cat-cow, one more round of cat-cow. Breathe in and out. In and out. Come up into downward facing dog or dolphin, whatever works. Pedal out your feet. Raise your right foot, stamp the wall behind you. Draw your right knee to your right elbow. Kick your foot back, stamp the wall behind you. Draw your right knee to your left elbow. Draw it back and step it down. Breathe. Maybe come up on your toes and see how far you can lower your heels to the mat. Bend your knees and really get your sacrum up to the ceiling. Good. Raise your left leg, stamp the wall behind you. Bring your left knee to your left elbow. Come back and inhale. Left knee, right elbow. Come back into downward facing dog and tiptoe again to the top of your mat. Maybe on your toes. See if you can come up on your toes to a stand. Look up, mountain pose. Dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift. Dive down. Step back, high plank, or go onto your forearms. Lower down halfway. Come up to an upward facing dog, or you can be in cobra. And draw back to downward facing dog using your abdominals. Good work. Breathe here. In and out. In and out, really getting your sacrum to the ceiling. Step your right foot forward and come into warrior one slowly. Noticing your alignment. You want your knee over your ankle. you want your front toes at 12 o'clock. Your back foot is at a 45-degree angle, and the blade edge of that back foot is really driving into the mat, and your back leg is super strong. Your hips are also at 12 o'clock. So your hips and your shoulders are in alignment, and just come up into cactus arms and breathe here. Sink into that front leg. Powerful, powerful pose. And just breathe here and feel the strength of this pose. Now maybe bring your arms up to the ceiling, wrapping the triceps around your ears, and breathe here. Open up into warrior two. So now our arms are really reaching either wall. You can actually shimmy your back foot a little bit more to a 90-degree angle if you like. It doesn't matter, but you can. If that gets you deeper into the pose, you really want to be bending that front knee right over your ankle. And reverse your warrior. So your right arm is going up, your left hand is going down your left leg. And into side angle. Lay your right elbow right on your right thigh and bring your left arm up overhead. Don't dump into that arm that's on your thigh. You want to really just have it there to almost as a guide. And then if you want to extend this position, you bring that raised arm closer to your left ear for extended side angle. There's also a bind in this position. You can bring that left arm around and try to touch the top of your right thigh. So that's a bind. There's a deeper bind where you actually get your arms together like this. That's a little more challenging. And then some people can actually come up on their leg, but we don't have to do that. So this is side angle, extended, and the bind, which is actually bringing that arm around and touching the top of your thigh. So any combination is good. Now swing your right toes to the left side of your mat, facing, so both toes are facing the left edge of your mat. My toes are facing in, and we're going to do wide leg forward fold. So here we are. My hands are on my hips. Your hands can really be clasped behind you if that's a good shoulder opener for you. And we hinge forward to halfway down. So the crown of our head is now drawing towards the wall on the left. And then you can bring your hands beneath your shoulders and fold down all the way. Breathe. Breathe. If you like, you can bend your right knee and extend your left leg and flex your toes up to the ceiling. This is a big hamstring stretch, so if you've got tight hamstrings, this might actually feel good. I'm actually on my right toes, but I could also go back on my right foot and extend. So if you are a runner or if you do a lot of walking, this might feel good. And then you can put your hands back on the floor, ease your body back up into that forward fold position, and maybe you bend your left leg and flex your right toes up to the ceiling. You can be on your left toes or bring your left foot flat on the floor. Again, huge hamstring stretch. On the right, put your hands back on the mat, help yourself back up to the fold position, halfway lift, come up completely. Maybe cactus your arms and breathe. Now point your left toes to the back of your mat and come into warrior one, facing in this direction. So you bend your left knee so it's right over your left ankle. Your left toes are pointed right at 12 o'clock. My right foot is out at a 45-degree angle, and I'm really trying to get the blade edge of that foot really in the mat. Strong back leg. Notice your hips. Are they in alignment with your shoulder? So one of the cues of this pose is draw your left hip back and your right hip forward. And it helps if your pelvis is neutral, so it's facing the mat. If you're not popping your booty, that makes it impossible. And you're not Michael Jacksoning yourself, but you're really got a neutral pelvis, strong, and you're trying to get the left hip back and the right hip forward. Come up, maybe cactus arms. And breathe here. And then bring your arms up overhead, wrapping your triceps around your ears. And now come into warrior two. So your arms are really stretching out in either direction. Reverse warrior. Left hand goes up to the ceiling, right hand goes down your right leg. And breathe here. And extended warrior position. So my right arm is going up. My left hand and arm is just resting on the top of my thigh. So this is the extended position. Sorry, this is side angle. This is bring your arm so that your tricep is right by your ear. That's the extended side angle. And then you can do the bind, where I'm going to bring my right arm behind my back and just try to grab my left thigh. And this is a good shoulder opening as well. You might feel this more profoundly. Good. Breathe here, come back up into warrior two. And now bring your feet so that your toes are pointing to the opposite corners. So we're in goddess. Look at your knees. You don't want your knees caving in. You want to try to draw your knees so they're over your ankles. So however much you need to bend or how little you need to bend to get your knees over your ankles is good. And we come up into cactus arms. I did a yoga practice, took a class, an online class, and this person was doing these W's. I thought that was kind of cool. So let's do these W's. And sometimes, it's the smallest movements that you can sort of really use your muscles. Good. Now, come back up. Very good. Good job. And step your feet together on your mat. Look up, mountain pose. Dive down, maybe wiggle out your legs a little bit. We asked a fair amount of our legs just then. Come up and we'll do some equanimity, some balancing work right now. So let's start by getting into eagle pose. So eagle is a double bind, right? Eagle, we're binding our arms and our legs. So we want to start in a chair position. So we haven't yet done a chair in this class. So we're actually kind of sitting into a chair and we wrap our right leg around our left. If you can get your toes all the way around your shin, good. If you can't, just flex your toes on the outside of your left shin or place your right toe on the mat next to your left shin. Any combination, any variation is fine. And now wrap your right arm under your left and bring your elbows up in line with your shoulders. Again, another shoulder opener. And sink into this pose. Breathe and drishti. If you fall out, just get back into it. Sink deeper. Come back up. Mountain pose. Let's do eagle on the other side. So come into that chair, that deep seat. Look down. Can you see your toes? Good. Now wrap your knee around your other knee and your left arm underneath your right. Draw your elbows up in line with your shoulders. And now try to get your palms facing the wall in front of you. And breathe. Be aware of drawing your belly button up and in, like you're zipping your favorite pants. Breathe. Drishti. Come up to mountain pose, look up. Eagle again on your right. We'll be here just for a moment, just get right into it. Breathe. Now bring your right knee up to hip height. Straighten your left leg, but keep a bend. Bring some water to that knee. So I'm holding my right knee and I'm going to open it up to the right. And I'm going to extend my left arm out to the left. Maybe I look over my left thumb. And bring your foot to the mat. Good job. Eagle, one more time on the left. Wrap your left, come into that chair, seat. It doesn't matter if you wrap your arms or your legs first. I don't know that it actually does matter. You want to try to get your arms so that you're looking through them. Breathe and sink. Come up to a standing position. Bring your left knee up to hip height, holding it with your left hand and gently opening out to the left. Extend your right arm and maybe look over your right thumb. Come back to center. Place your foot down. And let's come right into airplane pose. So your hands, my palms are facing forward. Stand tall. And very slowly, kick your right leg back. Bring some bend to your left knee. So you're not locking out. Stamp the wall behind you with your right foot and draw your pinkies together. A little up dog in your chest. Draw your hands to prayer. And if you can, bring your left hand down to the mat and raise your right hand up to the ceiling for half moon. Your right toes are now pointing to the wall where I would call it the wall in front of me. Breathe here. And bring that foot down. Halfway lift, dive down, mountain pose, look up. Good job. Let's do that same. So maybe get set up with a block. I should have suggested that you get a block close to where will put your right hand down for half moon, which should be right below your shoulder. So there's definitely an alignment. You don't want to be way out in front. You don't want to be way behind you. So it's more or less kind of parallel to your foot. But let's first do airplane. So you can either start with your raised knee or right from the ground. Just kick back slowly. Bring your palms back behind you like you're flying. Stamp the wall behind you. Bring some bend to your right knee and breathe. And drishti. Bring your hands to heart in prayer and half moon on the right. So my right hand is down and my left hand is up, and I'm stamping the wall. My toes are flexed and I'm breathing, and I'm trying to get that back leg raised up as much as I can. Breathe, one more breath, and come down. Good job. You can remove your block. I'm gonna take a drink because now it's gotten kind of sunny and I'm sort of warm. Let's do one more balance pose. And this one is dancer. And look, my dancer is not beautiful by any stretch of the imagination, but in the theme of kind of opening our shoulders, see if you can see how I'm doing this. So I'm grabbing my ankle, in this case, my right ankle, with both of my hands, right? So my shoulders are really back and I'm hinging forward. The reason why I like this, before you even do it, the reason why I like this particular pose is a lot of people, at least this is how I was taught, in dancer, so dancer is where you take your hand is like this, and you're grabbing your ankle with your thumb pointing up to the ceiling. So a lot of people do dancer. I mean, it's a beautiful pose, but they're coming up. So we're starting here, and then they hinge forward. They're trying to get like way up, but their shoulders are like twisted. And I think the pose, even though it's pretty, I think the pose has got more integrity when our shoulders are actually in line with one another, and we're just hinging as much as we can with our shoulders in line, which is why this variation, I think, works better. You're grasping your ankle with both of your hands, and you're drawing up only so far because your shoulders are absolutely parallel because they're doing this work. Bring some bend to your standing knee. And breathe. And lower down. So the other thing is, I notice this in myself. For some reason, I'm kind of dumping into my lower back, which is not the intention. You want to kind of hinge forward like you're coming up and over. So let me see let's practice this one more time. I'm going to do it on the other side. I'm going to try to get my body in such a way that I'm only hinging forward, so I'm not dumping in my lower back. My abdominals are really engaged. And down. I don't know if that works for you, but it's sort of fun to mess around with that. Okay, let's meet on the mat on our seats. Let's do a little core work, okay? So whatever shape your boat is, and you know that you can grasp the back of your thighs, you can bend your knees, you can grasp the back of your thighs and straighten your knees. You can go on your forearms. So whatever your boat looks like, hold it. Don't start yet. I gotta adjust my. So one of the important things here is we're not so far forward on our butt, and we're not all the way back on our backs. We're right on our sacrum. So here we are, whatever your high boat looks like, and go in and exhale to low boat, engaging your abdominals. Come up to high boat, breathe, exhale, lower down to low boat. One more time, come up to high boat, lower down, flutter kick 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and lower down. Good job. Bring your, I put my hands, I flatten my hands on the mat like this. My thumbs meet, and I put it underneath my sacrum. Because of the curvature of my spine, it's really hard for me to get a completely flat back. But that's the goal. The goal is to try to get your back flat when you bring your feet up overhead. So my feet are up overhead. I'm trying to get as much of my back on the floor as possible. I lower down 30%. I breathe in and out, lower down another 30%. Breathe in and out, lower down, look at your toes, breathe and bring them back up overhead. We'll do that one more time. So breathe in and out, use your breath and engage your abdominal muscles, tucking your belly button closer to your spine, lower down 30%. Breathe in, lower down another 30%. Breathe in, lower down to a hover, and bring your feet to the floor. Good job. Let's come right into bridge pose. So we can do full bridge, supported bridge. In fact, get a block if you've got one and put it right underneath your sacrum for a supported bridge. It's probably going to be on the second height, not the highest height, not the lowest height, the second height. Bring that underneath your sacrum and come into your bridge. So graze the back of your ankles with your fingers, flatten your arms on the floor. Your feet are at 12 o'clock. So here we are, supported bridge. Now, maybe you can rise up and bring your hips off of the block for a couple breaths, or maybe not. Lower down if you're up. If you are going up, try to draw your knees together. So they're not, you don't want them to knock into one another. You're just engaging your outer thigh muscles. So here we are, supported bridge. Maybe you can pop up for a couple breaths, drawing your knees together. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out and lower down. Good. Breathe in and out. Come back up for a couple breaths. And lower down. We'll do that one more time. Breathe in and out in this resting position. And come back up. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more breath in and out. Breathe in and out. Lower down, remove the block, and come into Supta Baddha Konasana The soles of your feet are together, one hand at your heart and one hand at your belly, and breathe. Bring your knees into your chest, form a little ball. Maybe rock back and forth a little bit to give your lower back a massage. And maybe you rock and roll forward to a comfortable seated position. Arms at your side, legs straight out in front of you. Bring your arms up overhead. Really come up out of your hips and fold forward. Forward fold, grasping the soles of your feet with your fingers, drawing your shoulders down your back. You want to bring your lower back towards your knees. You're not rounding over. You are folding. On the inhale, expand. On the exhale, fold deeper. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Expand, fold deeper. Expand, fold deeper. Expand and fold. Bring your right foot into your left thigh. Bring your arms up overhead again. Pivot your torso so now it's facing that extended left foot and fold over that leg. Bring in some water to that left knee, and maybe your fingertips can reach around to the sole of your foot to help you draw your lower back towards that knee and really come into this. Place your left hand down and come up into wild thing. So your right foot is on your mat, your right leg is bent, your left leg is straight, your right arm is bent overhead. Wild thing. Come back down and switch legs. Straighten your right leg out, bring your left sole to the right thigh, come up, extend your arms up, spark your fingers up, come up out of your hips, pivot towards that straightened leg and fold over. Maybe you can grab the sole of your right foot, maybe you can bring a little more bend into that right leg and draw your shoulders down your back and bring your lower back towards that right foot. Extend on the inhale, lower, deeper on the exhale. We'll stay here for 3 rounds of breath. And now bring your right hand behind your right hip and come up for a wild thing on this side. Really extend that left arm up over your head and come down. We're going to do a fast hip opener. So I want you to go onto your back and go into figure 4. So your right ankle is on your right knee. Maybe you roll that ankle a little bit. One way and then the other way. Bring your hands behind your left thigh. Put your right elbow on your right knee and draw it away from you as you're drawing your left thigh towards you. You should feel this in your right hip. Flex both sets of toes and breathe. 2 more breaths. And switch legs. Bring your left ankle on top of your right knee. Rotate that ankle one way and then the other way. And then left elbow on the inside of your left knee. Your hands are behind your right thigh, and you're drawing that thigh towards you as you push that right knee away. And breathe here for 3 rounds of breath. One more breath. And make your way into an inversion of your choice. You can do waterfall, so you can get that block and place it under your sacrum, or you can come up into shoulder stand, whatever works, or you can place your legs up the wall. But let's be here for a minute. Come up. If you're in shoulder stand, try to get your hands like they're going in your jeans pockets on your back, and try to get your knees right on top of your hips and your ankles right on top of your knees. And breathe. If you're in shoulder stand, ease back into plow, where you're bringing your legs straight behind you, toes touching the floor behind your head, arms straight out on your mat. If you're in plow, make your way to deaf man's pose, where your knees are around your ears. Breathe here. And everyone, make your way slowly, with ease, to your back. Straighten your legs out in front of you. Take a big, big morning stretch. Arms up overhead, toes pointing down. Draw your right knee into your chest and draw it over to the left for supine twist. Try to stack your hips. Extend your right arm out to the right and look over your thumb. Draw that knee back into your chest and switch. Supine twist on the other side. Draw that knee in and over slowly. And look out over your left thumb. Come out of this. Again, draw your knees into your chest. Form a little ball. Breathe. Maybe rock a little bit. Give that back another little massage. And Shavasana. Extend your feet, flop your feet open, have your palms open to the ceiling, and take a well-deserved rest. Just breathe naturally. Maybe remind yourself of your intention. Bring some movement to your fingers and toes and roll over onto your side in a fetal position, cradling your head with your arm, and breathe here. And slowly make your way up into a comfortable seated position. Sit up tall. Draw your shoulders down your back and your chin towards your chest. Bring your hands to prayer and practice the way we began with the sound of one O. Breathe in and out. Breathe in. Bring your thumb knuckles to your forehead. Look up. The light in me honors the light in you. We bow together and say, Namaste. Namaste.